What's going on, everybody? Welcome in Monday night. It's about 7:21. Good to be here with you. I was live last night, live tonight. I don't normally do either. I've been actually doing a lot of live shots today. Just a couple of things that I needed to get off my chest, and I haven't spoke yet on Mark Sanchez other than one tweet. I think it was yesterday, maybe the night before. Not positive. And then this decision to part two, supposedly at what, noon tomorrow? I'll get to that in a minute. Before I do, again, if you've been liking what you've been seeing, and kind of hard not to like 11 in a row, 11 picks in a row I gave everybody last night before we lost. There's a 8-pack up on X at PB Sports Talks that shows my picks with Xavier Worthy and over, I believe it's 60.5 as the number one pick tonight. That's a nice game, Kansas City and Jacksonville. Something has clicked with Kansas City last week. Having Worthy back was important. You know, Mahomes looks slimmed down. They look hungry again. They start getting healthy. They could be really, really dangerous again. And Jags are kind of up and coming, one of my surprise teams. That should be a very nice game tonight. A lot of people are expecting a slow, or not a slow, but a low-scoring game. And I don't know if I buy into that. I'm not predicting a total. I would staying away from that. But the props are up there, so parlay away. Have fun with it. When I get like this, it's quite a ride. It's quite a journey. So hopefully you guys took advantage of it yesterday, and hopefully we do well tonight. Looking for 7-1, 6-2 at worst. So let's root. I'll do a little bit of live tweeting during the game as well. Hit me up on X, comments. Hit me up on YouTube. Last thing before I get into the two topics, I was honored again to be on Fearless podcast with Jason Whitlock this morning. We talked about Dylan Gabriel, and we talked about fumbling before the goal line. It's like I want to figure out a way to get in touch with Barry Sanders and have Barry talk to every single one of these players, like have a national conference, get everybody up on Zoom and just talk to everybody. It's a 10-yard end zone. You know, in track, they teach you go through the tape, lean through, lean forward, go all the way through the tape because you're on a clock. Lean forward because you might get a fraction of a second, right? He said, Imari DiMarcado, 76-yard run and start slowing up. It makes no sense. It's just emotions, cloud, and judgments, what I said on the show. Anyways, it's up on the feed on X. Go ahead and pop that up. Jason gave me 17 minutes. We have a good chemistry. Went back and forth on a couple of things. We disagreed. Last week I was on Thursday. I think we agreed on everything. Today we didn't agree. So that's part of it, and that makes for a good debate. If we agreed on everything, it probably wouldn't want to watch it. So I hope to be back on the Fearless podcast. It's a great time, and it gives me an opportunity to live my dream out. And I'm so appreciative to Jason, and hopefully you're watching, buddy. Thank you again. I appreciate it. And John, producer, and the team there, thank you so much. All right. So Mark Sanchez. So I'm not an official journalist. I'm an opinion. Lost the mic there. Man, I gotta get my shit together. Damn. The system and everything that I'm running is running too much power, and it's just cutting out. So I apologize for that. I'm working on it, guys. Hey, please go to YouTube at PB Sports Talk. We're like 187 subscribers away from 1,000. That puts us at a new threshold where maybe we can start monetizing something. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's a skeletal operation right now. So that'd be a great way you can help us, and we'll increase the equipment and the bandwidth and all of that as we go. So Mark Sanchez, I want to be careful what I say because all of the facts are not yet out. We're getting drip, drip, drip a little bit. If anybody saw the man's face and neck and the sheer age of the man, 69, I believe, is so concerning to me. Mark is a really fit guy, all right? Mark's a pretty good size guy. I mean, Mark is 30 years younger than the man, or excuse me, 20 years younger than the man or so. And, we're getting these bits and pieces, and it's like you try to connect the dots without all the information. We know what the charges are. It was originally thought, and, some people out there, we didn't know what to think. It was kind of, I said prayers up. I didn't comment on it. I know some people are out there that did and took a lot of heat. And the Indianapolis counselor, I think it was, I don't know what type of counselor he is, but city council, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. But he came in, got involved and said it's not a crime, and it's not a city thing. It was an individual thing isolated to an incident. I just got to say this, right? We've all had a moment in our lives where we had a little bit more booze than what we should have, and sometimes maybe something happened that we're not too proud of it. But if this guy was doing wind sprints in a freaking alley and he's bothering some guy and going and entering his truck, and the guy's trying to do, I think it's grease removal at some restaurant in some alley at midnight, 11:30, whatever it was. And Sanchez is telling him he can't park there. I mean, what is he, like the meter person? No possible way he was in his right mind based on what we know. Again, I want to let all the facts come out, but what we do know, it sure seems pretty bad. And he's been, I think it's four misdemeanors, and now there's a felony charge been added to that. And the man's face is gashed. If you haven't seen it, it's graphic. Look at it if you wish. The man's face is gashed so deeply that it touched his tongue. Apparently, this man got body slammed by Sanchez, roughed up, thrown up against, the wall, and pepper sprayed Sanchez. And then apparently was in such fear of his life, I don't know if he had a pocket knife on him or what. You guys hit me up on the comments if somebody knows that exactly how he had a knife on him. If he didn't have a chance to go back to the truck, was it on his body, on his belt, whatever? Some people do that. And somehow got the knife out and stabbed Mark. And now the video is out, has been released, of Sanchez coming around the corner. You can clearly see, I mean, they said the chest, this looked more like lower, kind of like in the stomach, almost rib area. You can see a big, what looks to be a blood patch. And he's kind of like, I don't know if you want to say wobbly, or, you can tell he's in discomfort. It's kind of grainy, which is mind-boggling. All these things that happen, that cameras are so important. I don't understand with technology the way that it is, how I can get on and talk to the world like this. I don't have the best equipment in the world right now. My picture looks pretty clear. I don't know why they can't do that with these cameras. In certain places they can. Maybe it was just the quality of the equipment at the plaza or the restaurant, whatever it was. But man, on Jason's show, as I was in the waiting room, the green room, so to say, and I was waiting to come on for my spot, I heard him and Steve Kim talking about it, whether or not he would ever get a job again in broadcasting. And I think they were both in agreement that it wouldn't be with Fox. I know Steve was, that it wouldn't be with Fox ever again. And then they talked about some of the, more internet podcast type shows might be willing to take Sanchez on. And again, I want to keep on emphasizing this. Got to let it all play out and find out exactly what happened. Apparently, the authorities have all the video they need to put these charges out, and they put it out pretty quickly. So my guess is they have enough evidence to do such a thing, right? I mean, I know it's difficult sometimes to trust what we hear these days, and things get all conjured up, and you don't know, mixed up. You don't know what to believe in stuff. But if that's to be believed, I would have to agree with those guys. I don't think Fox. I don't even want to say for sure, but it's like, it almost feels like it's attempted murder or manslaughter, like an attempted manslaughter. Like, what are you doing, dude? Why are you body slamming anybody, let alone somebody freaking, 30, 40% older than you? It's crazy. And I'm just going to say this, and I don't like, again, to dig into anybody or, accuse anybody of something. I have a feeling that that's not just alcohol. Even if you're double the limit, if you're triple the limit, usually if you're triple the limit, you would struggle to. Thank you, I appreciate it. Amazing job on Whitlock's show, DeSantis Appreciation Society. Thank you, I appreciate that. If you're like double the limit or you're triple the limit, I mean, everybody's different. Alcohol reacts with everybody differently. But you're going to body slam this guy? You're running wind sprints? I mean, are you running wind sprints at 2 times the, let's say 2 times the, you're so inebriated that you're going to do something so outlandish and you're going to put your life in jeopardy and somebody else's life in jeopardy. I'm thinking that's not 2 times the alcohol or 3 times the alcohol limit, or up near 4 point something can kill you. I think that he would be like kind of down and out. If you're kind of like on a rage, almost sounds like a rage fit there. Again, I don't want to accuse Mark, but it sure sounds like there was some other something that under the influence of something else. How's that? Or a combination of the influence. And I heard somebody say, I don't want to mention any names. I heard somebody say today, maybe it was a quarrel of some kind and they knew each other. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that, but I have no idea why he would. And he claims his memory. He doesn't recall. You're in an alley by yourself. I don't know how you got there. You're running wind sprints in an alley. What do you like? You getting in shape? Jimmy Haslam call you? Sorry, Brownies. Sorry, Brown fans. You Jimmy Haslam call you and say, hey, Mark, can you get ready? We want Shedeur out of time. Can you come in and be a backup to Dylan? And we don't think we're keeping Deshaun Watson. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even mean to make light of this because that man is wrecked, it looks like. So we'll see how it all plays out, man. I don't know if he'll get a second chance. This is something a little bit more than, a DUI or falling asleep at the wheel at a light, or like what Tiger Woods did, or going 120 miles an hour, Myles Garrett, or things like that. This is just like really, really serious. And how that man's face got slashed like that, I want to know. Like that, was it his knife? That's such a slice. That's what you see in the movies where you see these guys with these scars, like they've been, sliced at some point. That's not a punch. I don't think that's a punch. That's a slice. That looks like it's a clean slice. You could see the flesh split apart. It's just gross, man. Prayers up for that man, and prayers up for Mark if he needs some help. And my guess, Sanchez will settle the civil case and the criminal charges will go away. Happens quite often. Can't disagree with you there. I mean, that seems to be the thing, the MO these days. But the man's face, you can't make that go away. It's out there now. It's out there forever about Mark Sanchez. Dude was always known. A lot of his former teammates came out. They said, great guy, great teammate, kind of a laid back, calm guy. He's a pretty good broadcaster. And you hear him on TV. Doesn't even seem like the type, but hey, under the influence of some things can really do some stuff. So hopefully that man is okay and Mark gets, whatever help maybe that he needs. So, all right, on to I'm shaking my head because I have so much material and so much video up on our YouTube channel about LeBron. I mean, there's 2-minute clips, 1-minute clips, 5-minute clips, 20, 30-minute clips about the Lakers, the decision. Let me just say this. This guy, his narcissism, it has no limits. It has no bounds. I said this today or yesterday. I don't know of anybody else. I mean, I think that Angel Reese and LeBron James must be related. Maybe they're distant cousins or something. Like Angel Reese is all excited and online a couple of days ago, whatever it is, about she made 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever it is on her Me Bounds apparel. Like that apparel with that name on it that basically the public gave her and she was thankful for that, said, thank you. I'm going to go trademark that name. She's so excited that she's making money off a name that she owns the branding and trademark to, that exposes how bad she is at the most basic, fundamental part of a basketball game, making layups. I mean, you're clanging your own layup and just throwing it up at the rim and it's coming down to you. And you're 6'3", 170, 165, 170, and you're named after that. So me bounce means you can't do what elementary kids can do. It's in her power dribble all the time, where she loves to slam the ball down. This is something, as a coach, we taught big people, you don't do that. You don't put the ball down in the paint like that. You keep it above your head when you get the rebound. She loves to bring it down. She brings it down. She gets it up and then clangs the rim. And then it comes down, brick, whatever you want to say. And she gets a rebound and she's making money off of that. And she's proud of it. So likewise, LeBron James, I don't know of too many superstars. Maybe Bill Belichick's in the running now. I talked about him earlier, and he's on the back of my sign behind me here. He's in a total spiral. But that's more recent, right? Bill is on this spiral at 72 or 3 years old, whatever he is. The way he's living right now is way the hell out there, like Pluto or Saturn or some shit. I don't even know. Dude was a coaching idol of mine. You know, LeBron's been doing this stuff for 20 years. This whole 20 years, this dude's been doing the same dumb shit. And I don't know that the year right off the top of my head when the decision with Jim Gray was. I want to guess around 2010, somewhere right around there. And he's been known for, ever since then, for that being one of the biggest gaffes that you could possibly make. And he made himself look like a fool. Again, Jason and I talked about this. I talked about this with so many teams of mine. I talk about it on video all the time. You don't make it about you. You got to be about the team. And he gets shredded like almost daily from players that and it's not just the Kwame Browns and people like that. I can't even think of them all, but there's so many that just shred him. Dennis Rodman is another one. Scottie Pippen, I think, is another one. The way that he's acted and how his game, I don't believe, and I agree with them. He would have been easy to guard. He would be just above an average player in the 80s and 90s. I'll get crushed about it. I do all the time, but it's true. They would have got so physical with him. He's a baby. He's a total crybaby, one of the biggest we've ever seen. Flopper, attention grabber, narcissist, quitter, ring chaser, talent chaser, doesn't want to do it on his own. I mean, even Kyrie Irving has had a lot of things to say. All kinds of people. For what reason do they have to say anything about him if it wasn't true? I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Let me go chase Dwayne Wade. Let me go chase Chris Bosh. Let me go chase Davis. It's like, it's enough. Now, tomorrow, I believe it's noon Eastern, is this so-called decision 2. Leave it up to him. You know, if you really want to say from a branding perspective with what he's got going on, a marketing perspective, what he's got going on with Amazon and, you know, DraftKings and a bunch of others, I don't think that this has anything to do with DraftKings or the other Nike. I don't think it has anything to do with those. This is one of two things. It has to do with the Amazon Prime Day, or it has to do with him announcing that this is his final year. And I would say it's probably 50-50. Now, Amazon Prime is 7 and 8. I find it ironic that he's doing it at noon on the first day. If it's about Prime Day, seems like, why would you do it the day of at noon? It's a little bit, I'm not so sure about that. His actions and his distance away from the team this offseason, make no mistake about it, it has a ton to do with Luka and the fact that Luka went and got in shape and the Lakers committed to him. And, you know, LeBron did his usual shit. Let me see if I can make this maneuver and you're going to come chase me. They didn't come chase you. They don't want you. And nobody wants you for anything unless it's a league minimum. And that's the truth. Because in many ways, although you made a successful career, a Hall of Fame career, it's like nobody wants Shedeur Sanders and everything that comes with. Like Dallas, In fact, I have a prop bet I put out like, I don't know, 2.5 months ago, right around the draft. So that was June 26th, somewhere right in there in July. I said, take the over on their season total. Why the hell would you bring LeBron James around what Dallas is trying to do? That makes no sense. Davis and Kyrie and Cooper. Why? No. Why would you disrupt that? I see potentially one place for the third time, Cleveland. And Dan Gilbert, I got a ton of respect for him, fellow Detroit guy. I've met Dan. I worked for Dan for a short period of time. Had some conversation with Dan, which was really cool, and it was a highlight of my life. That story's up on my page as well. I don't think he's got 1 year left with the Lakers. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? He's 40, 41. He says he could play till he's 42, 43. I mean, we can't unsee what we've seen. He's slowing down, and, you give him credit for his longevity, but quite frankly, the longer he stays, the worse it is. His game is actually getting more exposed now by seeing him get more and more and more lazy. And you actually see him, the lingo, right? With the young people, he's got no bag. He's got no bag. He never had a bag. He had an explosive first step, a physique, and a body composition and structure and strength that was beyond the norm, freakish, right? You could put him as a tight end, explosive, great speed, certainly had athletic ability. I could never take that away from him. And he could definitely do some things on the court. He could change games. There's no doubt about that. But what is he going to do now? Is he just going to stand around and take 3-point shots? Like that, him and Angel Reese are much the same. As soon as they put the ball on the floor, like it's up for grabs. It's on the ground. It's on the floor. Somebody's diving for it. It's like he has no handle. And he really never had a handle. He's just explosive and such a physical presence on the court, powerful at the rack, difficult to get in front of him. And let's just call it what it is. And I don't mean to get on some long type of thing, but I used to teach my players, do not try to model yourself after this guy. Number one, the person, from a basketball perspective. I am not talking about his personal life and what kind of husband or father he is and that type of stuff. That's not for me to speak. I'm speaking strictly from a basketball perspective. Don't follow what this guy does. Worst example, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. He's a showboat, crybaby, ring chaser. If you look on X, the picture I have up there is where he's laying on the ground. Everybody look at me. I'm injured again. Or the one time when he got caught playing peekaboo and looking at the ref. Can we be done? Like, can we be done? Can we just all move on? Can the league get healthy again? Because under his, reign, we'll say, Jordan and those guys handed the torch. Kobe, obviously, the late Kobe, may rest in peace. LeBron has made this game into junk, folks. And I played basketball. It was my life. I grew up in Detroit. I played on grass in the backyard. And I actually got pretty good with the handle and the shot. I was a really good shooter. It actually helped me. And I'd stay out till midnight, 1 o'clock in the city of Detroit. Back in that day, it was a lot safer than it is now, quite admittedly. But we didn't have the money to do a full, cement area. And so I grew up around it. I played it. And then later in life, I coached for a very long time. And it's like, it was painful for me to watch him basically ruin the game or have a hand in ruining the game. Kevin Garnett jumped around with teams, right? He's one of the first to do that. So it isn't like LeBron was the first one. He didn't invent that, but he's the one who took it to a whole new level. Yeah, Garnett went to Boston, Minnesota to Boston to Brooklyn, or New Jersey, whatever it was. I got it. But LeBron took it to a whole nother level. Garnett went there with people. LeBron went to join people. And he's been chasing Michael his entire life. He'll have you believe something else. It's not true. I'll never forget that somebody said, just look on Sports Illustrated. Look at the copy. It's the media that told him there was a chosen one. It's on the magazine. Okay, fair enough. I'll buy that. Did the media brand the chosen one on the back of his back? Did they handcuff him and bring him to a tattoo shop and tattoo that on his back? Did they make him name himself the king? I don't think so. This guy's entire life, his entire existence, was to try to be Michael and Kobe even, but more so Michael. Same number, the whole 9 yards. Number 6, people can say whatever the hell they want. 6, what do we know is 6? The number 6, how is that significant in Michael Jordan's life? 6-0 in NBA championship games. I don't want to hear about his kid's birthday, please. I don't want to hear it. 23 is Jordan's number. 6 was the championships. Not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. I mean, you got 1-2 in Miami and you lost 2. You're known to be a loser. You've lost more than you've won. You're 3-13, I think it is, in the last 16 playoff games. You're going to be remembered, and I get crushed for this. And I'll die on this hill for the rest of my life. I don't care. I believe it through and through. LeBron James will be remembered more for what he didn't do, or what he did do and the way he went about doing it, than what he actually did that was good. And by the way, it's not 4 championships. I'll give it 3.25. The whole world was on its head. People was in a bubble. Yeah, you could say, oh, well, the other team had the same this and the same that. People were sick. Families were sick. They're locked up in hotels. There's no fans. There's no home court. Now, did they have to go through that and play that? Yeah. But you can't count that. I'm sorry. You just can't. There's an asterisk. Matter of fact, there's 5 or 6 asterisks next to it. You can't put that on there. Sorry. He thinks it is. So I'll call it 3. But in the record books, it's going to show 4. There's no 5. There's no 6. He can play for 2-3 more years. It's not going to matter. He stays with the Lakers. It's not going to matter. The Lakers are a terribly flawed team, folks. Don't be fooled. I'm impressed with what Luka Doncic did. I don't want to get too far off, and I don't want to go too much longer so y'all can get to Monday Night Football here in a half hour. I thought it was a terrible move for the Lakers to get Luka Doncic. People went apeshit crazy about Nico Harrison and the fact that he did what he did with Luka. You know, $375 or $350 million max contract was coming up for a guy that was basically 25 to 30 pounds overweight. Apparently smokes, apparently drinks a lot. It wasn't a leader. He's a number 2, like phenomenal offensively, can't be stopped. But one-dimensional player, and needed basically a number 1 to be the leader. Well, you know, they got a hold of him, and I think he got the message, and he went out and lost 31 pounds. You can look at some of the highlights of him playing overseas, and his whole body construction is different. The way he's even hanging in the air and the way he's twisting in the air, all of that weight loss and flexibility that he's developed has improved his game. And I got to believe it's going to translate somewhat on the defensive end. He will never be a defensive player like he is an offensive player. I mean, throw that out the window. He's not going to suddenly convert to a stopper. He's just not going to do that. But he might, by example, if he can hold this up, keep this up, he'll set an example, and maybe he can become a leader. I don't think he's a real vocal guy, you know, but LeBron was certainly chapped. Is like, step aside. Here's who we're committing to. And I don't think LeBron liked it. LeBron stayed away. And what is he? He was at the preseason game. When was that? Last night or the night before? He's fooling around, doing a golf swing. It's like, just please go away. And it hurts. For me, it hurts. Here's why it hurts. Because young people emulate him. Quick story. It was 2011. I was coaching a young man, 2010. I was coaching a young man named Christian. He comes to practice with LeBron's Miami Heat number 6 jersey. I said, Christian, what do you got that jersey on for? Coach, I love him. It's LeBron James. I love him. I said, Christian, what I told you earlier, I would implore people to stay away from trying to emulate him, imitate him, follow him, believe in what he was as a person, because you could just see the writing on the wall. And, you know, I'm not going to argue with the young guy. Well, he's 26 years old now, and he just got married. And it wasn't long ago, maybe 6-8 months ago, he shot me a message on Facebook, and he says, hey, Coach, I just want to tell you something. Yeah, what's up, Christian? You were right. What do you mean? You told me when I got older I would understand. I understand. I get it now. I said, all right, my man, you want to watch guys that eat it, drink it, breathe it, sleep it for the right reasons? That's why, here, ready? You guys are going to punch some of you out there that are watching, there's a few of you on here now, and a lot will see this later. Going to punch your monitor. Top 15 all time. Now, there's a certain criteria I have set for that. It's up on YouTube. It's on X. You can go in and watch it. It's like 38 minutes long, and I go over every single player and why. I have him at number 14. Number 14 all time. People think I'm absolutely insane. I'm going to put him before Wilt Chamberlain, Michael, Kobe, Magic, Bird, Durant, Curry, Jokic, Isaiah, if I didn't say him. What are you, nuts? This was the part of it was building your, who would you build your franchise around? I'm not building my franchise around that guy knowing what we know. Why would I want a selfish ass on my team? If you're going to build your team around it, you got the number one pick and you have all of them in their prime. Forget the eras, but they're in their prime. Why would I take him 1, 2, 3? Someone popped up on the screen and said, if you are beyond 3, you are this and this and this, and you're doing it because he's black. Okay, the first 2 guys are black. Actually, the first 3 guys are black. Most of them are black. Bird's in there. There's not many white guys in there. Jokic, it's just, I don't view him as one of the greatest of all time. Not basketball player. I view him as one of the greatest athletes of all time. Horrible leader, horrible teammate, horrible for the game. Never forget it, folks. I got it. Part of it is social media. Part of it is things get cut up. Part of it is YouTube and stuff like that. People don't sit down and watch a 2-hour game like they once did, when I was 20. I got it. There's so many more options for people to do things with their time now. And I think that's a part of it. But people tuned out over the years when he was involved. Is some of it exhaustion because it's, the same guy, much like Curry every year, even Jordan. I grew up on Michael. Michael was 84, 85. Started with the Bulls. I was born in 72, so I was 13. And he went on for a long, obviously ridiculous career. And that's another thing. Michael, same team. Kobe, same team. Bird, same team. Isaiah, same team. You could go many more. This guy, what did I call him? Oh, man, I came up with a great nickname for him. I'll have to look that up. There's something about the journeyman. It was something journeyman because that's what he became. He's become like this floundering journeyman that takes his circus on the road to whatever city looks like it might give him the best chance to win by tagging along with a bunch of other guys. So there's a huge part of me that hopes, because it. Everybody knows this. There is no way that this guy's going to play a season and announce it when the season's over. Hell to the no. No chance. He will let the world know prior to a season. And there's time to do that, which is why this is still possible tomorrow, because he wants the carpet rolled out. He wants the fans at all the stadium. He wants to feel important, special. There's no possible way that he would allow himself to not have the opportunity that a lot of the other greats have had, like his swan song and the rocking chairs and the music and the awards and the gifts and all. Bow to the king. There's no possible way that he would find it in his heart to say, like a Barry Sanders. Sorry, that's an extreme. Let me fax in my retirement and the peak of my career. I'm the greatest running back of all time. And it's the day before, the eve before training camp. Here you go, Lions. And send a fax. I'm out. He ain't doing that. He ain't doing anything close to that. So that's why this is possible tomorrow, that what he did in 10 or 11 or 9, whatever it was, that he could do this again. Jim Gray part 2. It's not Jim Gray sitting down there, obviously, if you saw the clip, 10-second clip. Wouldn't surprise me. It also wouldn't surprise me if it's Prime. And it's just teasing. And he loves He absolutely loves. See, we help him and people like him by talking about it. And there's a good amount of people on here that are watching this, and it's all over social. It's a trending topic on X. I'm sure on Facebook. I'm sure on TikTok. I'm sure on everything. He loves it. People are talking about me. And Amazon and Prime, if that's what this is, and this is what this is all about, mission accomplished. But just think about this. If tomorrow's Prime and he doesn't announce it, that means he'll play through this year and he would play another year. So we would have 2 more years of this guy, because he's not going to, like I said, he's not going to play and end it at the end of the year, unless it was like an injury or something where he couldn't play anymore. No way. So if he doesn't announce this tomorrow, it's too close to the season. It's tomorrow, it's now or never. He would do it. He would play 2 more years, this year and next, at least minimum. Please spare us. Go away. Just disappear. He's not going to. He wants a team. He's involved in all this stuff. And it's like, give it a rest. He isn't even an ambassador to the game. In my opinion, he isn't even the appropriate ambassador. He isn't even on the level of a Stephen Curry, in my opinion. What Curry did is so much more impressive because of his size and the warrior spirit of that guy. And it's going to come out. I got to be careful what I say. I don't want to get sued. You're building a sports franchise. Who you got, Bronny James or Shedeur? I'm not even going to answer that. And that's another thing. And he reminds me on this. And I put a clip up the other day. Dion and his son and LeBron and his son. Bronny James would have never been drafted in the NBA. He was already 50, 51. There's only like 9 more picks. He wouldn't have been. It probably wouldn't be a free agent, maybe overseas. He has no NBA future. He has no game. No game to play at that level. He'll get exposed on a pick and roll every single play. You want to bring him in like a TJ McConnell, something like that, I suppose, but just take it away. Somebody said, maybe he'll be on the show tomorrow and Bronny will come out and they'll retire together. I got a kick out of that. No, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to go to sleep later tonight and I'm going to say a prayer and I'm going to hope he says, you know what, after 21, whatever it is, years, it's time for me. I've been practicing my golf game and I want to do that. And I have other business interests. This is going to be my final year. I will I won't run out in the street and celebrate, but I'll do some jumping up and down and yelling. My wife will be like, you all right? Yeah, I'll be excited as hell. If this is Amazon Prime, I'll be, I just ordered some Amazon today. It'd be like, I don't even want to buy Amazon anymore. I don't even want to be a Prime client anymore because of him. So anyways, there's going to be some that'll hit me up when this goes out and people see this tonight, tomorrow, whatever, that are going to throw rocks and stones and boulders at me. I'll take it, whatever. Just can't wait till he's gone. Let the league change over into people like Shea. That's how you lead. Edwards. That's how you lead. Aside from that, explicit thing that he did to the crowd, there's a lot of young talent. Cooper Flagg and what he's going to do for the league. Just pass it off and just go away. So, anyways, again, thank you to Jason Whitlock earlier today. Love the show, Fearless Podcast with Jason Whitlock. Support him, please. If you haven't, check out his show. Subscribe to his channel. And while you're on YouTube, please subscribe to us. Again, before I went on air here, 813 subscribers, 1,000 allows us the opportunity to have a chance, right? YouTube's pretty strict and they have some criteria when you're young and you're trying to grow. We've only been doing this a year. 1,000 subscribers gives you an opportunity to take the next step. And I'd appreciate all of you if you did that. And, I got to get the viewership up and such. And Jason's, it's helped out a lot in that regard. And I'm so thankful and appreciative. I enjoy that. It's been a lifelong dream. Appreciate it. So on X, that's the number one place content goes for us. On X at PB Sports Talk with an S on the end. Number 2 is YouTube at PB Sports Talk. Hit me up, smash the subscribe button, and please share the got some amazing comments from you guys, particularly after the first show with Jason. Like 17 really, really nice people said some really nice things. I'm really grateful for that. I work really hard at this. Luke works really hard at this. And I'm going to come on. I'm going to give it to you straight. And I'm not going to be like ESPN. You guys hear what happened to Paul Feinbaum? Whether it's true or not, we'll see. They just got away over there. I'm not going to get into that. Another topic for another day. Everybody have a great night. Check out the picks on X. It's an 8-pack, 7-1. Let's go for it. Have a good night, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.